The play-ins have come to an end. Chivas were robbed. America are through into Liga, and then we have Xolos versus Atlas in one more play-in match. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo, and accompanied with me is Tomas. We're going to talk some Liga MX play-in action right before we get into the La Liga, which will be going down this weekend, I believe. But yeah, before we get into it, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, follow all our platforms down below. Tomas, thank you for hopping on. And do you honestly believe that Chivas were robbed in a Clasico Tapatio? Because that's where we're going to take things away.
I don't know about Rob, but the ref was definitely an attention whore. He made the game about himself, and it was just. I mean, we've seen this. He does it in World Cups. What? Why wouldn't we expect him to do it in a basic, regular Liga MX play-in tournament?
Mhm.
So it's kind of expected at this point when you have Cesar Arturo Ramos. So it's just like a lack of professionalism on his part. And then, I mean, what is the point of having a ref take so much attention from a game?
Yeah, because I feel like he was the main protagonist of the game. Because normally in a big game like this and in Clasico Tapatio, you don't want to end up talking about the referee because that's how you know the game was good when you don't have to talk about the referee. But I feel like the referee's handprints were all over this match, from the first penalty call for Chivas to the second penalty call against Chivas. um I just think it kind of ruins the spectacle of the moment, and it kind of takes away the like Atlas's win a little bit, but also I mean it just leaves a sour taste in Chivas fans' mouths as well. But I mean, going into the match, there was so much talk. Obviously, this is El Clásico Tapatio, one of the biggest clásicos in Liga MX as well. Chivas had the opportunity to give Atlas, their biggest rivals, their 100th defeat in history. So that would have been humiliating for Atlas. And for whatever reason, they continue to avoid it. Because I've been saying this for like the past couple weeks when they faced off Cruz Azul, when they faced off I forgot who else but the week before, but they continue to avoid defeat. They had two draws in their last Liga MX matches, and now they defeat Chivas. And Atlas are saving themselves from kind of humiliating themselves and being the first team ever to reach that 100, that 1,000 loss milestone, which would be a really horrible milestone. So I thought that was crazy at first.
I mean, it's just a matter of time. They're
Mhm.
gonna end up playing. If they go on eighth, they play Cruz Azul again. I doubt that they don't lose to Cruz Azul in a two leg.
Bro, imagine the scenes of Atlas somehow scraped through Cruz Azul because remember when they played in Jalisco, Cruz Azul couldn't beat them. It was 2-2. I think Atlas are the only team that or yeah, that Anselmi has not been able to beat ever since he's come into Liga MX. That's the only team. So there's a little bit of like some aura going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just a matter of time. I hope.
And then from Chicharito, Chivas perspective, I feel like quedaron de ver. Like there was moments, yes, from Chivas, especially in the first half, a lot of big moments. Pocho Guzman had like two, three clear chances, but I mean, there wasn't a moment where any of the players stepped up, and Chicharito. I mean, even him was kind of he lacked maybe fitness or quality up front. But same thing for all the players, and then the coach Ortega didn't make the right changes at the right time exactly. So I mean, from a Chivas standpoint, I'm pretty sure this one hurts because there were so many things that went wrong in this match.
Yeah, I mean, from the defense going forward, I mean, the defense has always been solid, but
Mhm.
it looked choppy compared to what we're used to.
Yeah,
To see from Chivas, from how they're able to support their midfield and go forward, it looked very. I don't even know what to say about this team because I mean, simple passes in the midfield. We had Guti, giving a back pass where he practically gives a through ball to an Atlas player. But the fact that Tala Rangel is so focused on the game, he's able to reach those through balls given to the Atlas players by the Chivas players. But I mean, Tala Rangel saved them like two or three times.
yeah, he had a few good saves in the first half, even the second half, like on counter attacks, not necessarily saves, but like I
Yeah,
remember there was one moment where we had to fix a mistake in the back. So the La Rangel probably the only thing that you can save from all Chivas players. And then for Atlas, I mean, they've been somewhat of a shock, honestly, because it was iffy if they were going to be able to make it into the play-ins. They made it in a panzazo because Leon were just they were biting. They were right there at the cusp. But unfortunately for Leon, they weren't able to get it done. Atlas were, and I mean now technically they're undefeated in the last 3 matches. So, and then crazy thing from a Chivas perspective, I was actually doing some research. I saw that Chivas, when they've faced off I think all the other 9 teams that were either in play-in or Liga, they haven't beat them at all this season. So they've beat all the teams that are below 10th place, but they haven't beat any of the big guys like America, Tigres, Cruz Azul, you name them. So going into that, I thought that was going to play a factor, and it looks like it definitely did. And in the last matchup, the recent matchup between Atlas and Chivas, it was also a 1-0 margin, or a
One
one
goal.
goal margin. It was a 3-2 win for Atlas. So very, very similar scoreline in this case scenario.
Yeah, and
But
then
go
also
for it.
Omar Bravo posted on, I don't know if you saw this, but he posted penal de Rocha que define los transferibles de Chivas desde hace tiempo y los ascensos de algunos tapatíos que merecen paciencia y apoyo. So practically what he's saying is that we saw the players that this whole season were just lacking motivation to play for Chivas,
Quality.
quality,
Yeah,
all these things. I mean, clearly we probably don't even have to name them, but if you had to name 5 players that you think can leave Chivas and it wouldn't be a factor, who would you name?
probably Isaac Brizuela for sure. Some like I can name a few, but the main reason to even name them is just because some of these players have overstated their welcome in a club like Chivas. They've been there for years and haven't done anything. Like Brizuela, like what's his name, the left winger,
Pavel Perez?
Perez. Yeah, I was gonna say Pavel Pardo, but I know that wasn't right.
Yeah, Pavel
Pavel
Perez.
Perez. No, yeah, he's definitely overstayed his welcome as well. Um, Pollo Briseño, Pocho
Well,
Guzman, who he had like one good season last season. I believe it was like the beginning of the season where he started off really well, and kind of a little bit at the beginning of the season. But I mean, ever since then, I think his form has definitely dipped. I think he's probably gotten comfortable in Guadalajara. I think that's the main thing. A lot of these players have just been accustomed to the luxury life of being in Guadalajara, and they don't have anything to really play for.
yeah, I mean, well, Pollo Briseño is really playing because of I think Tiva Sepulveda's injured.
Yeah,
So I mean, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about
he's
that.
so ass, bro. Like I'm not like I'm not against him as
I
a
think
as a person, whatever. But like,
he just reacts to every little thing. Like
mhm.
and
And
when you're everybody can't have that. You're supposed to be the most calm player on the pitch. Cool, calm, and collective.
he reacts in the worst possible ways too, because he was the same person that gave away a penalty against Tigres in the final last year, right?
Yeah,
And then now a penalty to eliminate Chivas from even any aspirations from Liga.
it's just
So
I didn't think it was a penalty, but why throw your
it's
arms back? Why
yeah,
give
why
them
risk it?
why risk the opportunity? Like last time you threw your arms wildly like that, it was a penalty for Tigres. Now you do it again, it's a penalty for Atlas. But
Yeah.
at the end of
We can go into all the dynamics of whether it was a penalty or not. I honestly don't think it was a penalty either, because I mean, in my opinion, it was a natural movement. He's just jumping up, trying to gain momentum to go up for the header. Accidentally hits him, but I mean, we don't have to go too deep into it. Like at the end of the day, the referee should have known better. Cesar Arturo Ramos was the main protagonist. He made this game all about him. At the end of the day, it's a good win for Atlas. I wouldn't say that they totally didn't deserve it. I would have much preferred this game go to penalties, and then it's in God's hands there, pretty much. I think that would have been a more even result for any team, to be honest. But now for Atlas, they're going to face off against Xolos, who lost against technically lost against America in penalties. So going to the Xolos and America matchup, this was honestly the best match out of these two draw. This was a partidazo. We had red cards, we had drama, we had VAR, disallowing goals. It had everything that you needed from a football game. So this was a good match, and it started off well. Cholos were playing America off of the park, and you thought it would have been like a 3-1 win, a 4-1 win for Xolos, but can never count America out.
I mean, the biggest factor was the red card
Yeah,
because after that is when America really starts to gain momentum again. What what was kind of funny was the Alex Sendejas
this
when
allowed to
they
go.
disallowed his goal, and
Yeah,
he's celebrating, he's like crying on the verge of tears, throwing it on the ground, and then it's just like you hit it with your hand, bro. Like
yeah. Like, how did he not notice that he did that? Or
yeah,
maybe he thought nobody else would notice. But bro, there's like 360 cameras like all over the fucking stadium. Like, there's someone's gonna catch it.
yeah.
And at first, I didn't notice it either. To be honest, I thought it was a valid goal. I thought Zendeja, like at that moment, I put in my notes Zendeja's man of the match moment. Like he was the man of the match player because he created the opportunity for the equalizer in like the 90th minute, and then fucking 2 minutes later scores the winner, potential winner. But yeah, correctly ruled offside because it was the last 15 minutes where that was all. That's where America just completely took over after that red card. And yeah, I agree. The red card had so much to do with it. The red card probably had everything to do with it, to be honest. But I mean, in a case like that, a 50-50 ball, what's his name? Nicolas Diaz cannot be putting his leg up like that, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's an idiot.
Like, I understand going in for the challenge, but like leaving his leg up because he left his leg up for at least a couple seconds and then made connection with Fidalgo's face, bro. It looked bad
I mean,
from
that was definitely
the angle.
malintentioned. I mean, that's definitely at least 3 to 4 games and a fine.
Bro, like, even if it wasn't on purpose, but like, how can you justify that it wasn't on purpose? Because like the way it just looks on camera is just it was a horrible tackle, horrible incident. Since Fidalgo was luckily okay, not nothing,
I mean,
just I think it's just a couple scrapes, right?
I think he was
Just
bleeding
bleed.
from his mouth a bit, but other than that, he seemed fine. I mean, he didn't look too hurt after,
Yeah,
but it's just like, bro, bro, you could potentially end somebody's career like that.
definitely. So
If you
that was
connect
a
directly
dangerous
with his
move.
face, you could end up hurting his vertebrae, something in the neck. Like it could be much worse than that. And I mean, it's
I wonder what's gonna happen to Diaz because that there's gonna be a for sure, like you said, a hefty fine.
no, yeah, it has to be. I mean, that's jail time in on everyday life. That's jail time.
Lock him
Everyone
up
gets
for real, bro.
lock him up,
Lock
bro.
him up.
Keep him locked up.
Now, so that was 2-2. So there was still the opportunity for Cholos. I think that was the best case scenario for Cholos because if there was an extra 10 minutes to the match, America would have won it. So the best case scenario was that the game was about to end, goes to penalties, and it's just anyone's game at that point. But when you have a guy like Luis Angel Malagon versus Toño Rodriguez on penalties, I'm taking Malagon every day. And Toño Rodriguez played well. Don't get me wrong. But Malagon just continues to prove why he's Mexico's number one and potentially one of America's greatest ever goalkeepers. Malagon had an incredible match. He's always secure, even when America's backline have been iffy like all fucking season. He's always probably the most rescatable from the team, to be honest. Even though like it's just 2 weeks ago, se comió cuatro, but that's not really on him at that point. His defense were complete ass because America's defense is ass. But at least things are starting to shape up a little bit for America. But unfortunately for them, they have to face off Toluca. So I don't know. Like it was like it was either you lose the game and you potentially end up facing Atlas and then face Cruz Azul, or you win this game and then you face Toluca, a team that you just beat 4-0. So regardless, I think America were fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think America's going deep this Liga. Although they advance, it seems like a bittersweet advance because you're playing the team that smashed you 4-0 not that long ago. And the team is still in form. They're in the same form when they just smashed you.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, they got a break because of the Fecha FIFA. So you're gonna see this, and on top of that, they're not playing a playing tournament, so you're gonna see this Toluca team at full speed
Yeah.
running through America, just completely obliterating them like if it was a casting scene. So I mean,
I mean, keep in mind too. I mean, Alexis Vega had an incredible international window, especially the second leg against Honduras and Toluca. So I'm pretty sure he's feeling just as inspired off of that performance. Same way I'm sure Henry Martin was inspired, but in this match, I mean, in this match against Xolos, really didn't wasn't there. But at Toluca, I'm expecting Alexi Vega to be handling that match. You know, whether it's an assist or goal or creating plays like he did against Honduras. I mean, we could potentially see an aggregate scoreline that we've probably never even seen in Liga MX. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it possible that fucking America also go through? Yeah, because last year we thought the same thing with Toluca. We thought that they were this hot team that playing at home and in Liga that they were going to be one of the favorites, but they tend to choke when it matters the most. They did last year against Chivas or last season against Chivas, and now I mean we'll see what happens this season against America, but yeah, because the face off the matchup was so recent, I think Toluca will know exactly how to hurt this team.
No, yeah, definitely. I don't think America stands a chance. And it's not even no disrespect to America, but they're just not in one of the better forms that we're accustomed to seeing them in.
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, the Choros versus Atlas game. I think that's an interesting matchup because Atlas are the shock team, I guess you can say. Cholos are like just this slippity slope of a team where it's like they have their moments where they perform well. I mean, that for the first 60 minutes, like we said, the first 60 minutes were basically all Cholos, and they were out passing, outperforming. It was a beautiful display of football from Osorio's team, but you're facing against a really rough, rigid Atlas team that really they're going to be a hard team to break through. We saw Chivas had a difficult time to break through them. Cruz Azul had a difficult time to break through them, even though they got 2 goals. Atlas somehow find a way to scrape through. So I think this will be that one's going to be a very tight matchup. Could be like a 0-0 and then in one leg and a 1-0 in another, swinging either way. To be honest, I don't see a clear winner.
Yeah, but the thing with Tijuana versus Xolos, who gets to play at home?
At least Tijuana will have that advantage from playing at home. But I mean, technically they drew against America, but losing in penalties, I'm sure it's not going to help them in any sort of confidence, or mentally. So I guess, like I said, it really swings in any team's way because Atlas can very well surprise.
Yeah, but I mean, Xolos plays better at home. They played better than America up until they had 10 players.
Yeah. So
So
as long
I
as they
feel
don't
like,
commit that same mistake, then I think they should be good.
yeah, if they don't just start fucking around again. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know who I want to win. I kind of want Cholos to lose because of how they just shot the bed versus America. I don't feel like they should be in La Liga. I don't think they're deserving to even be in to have a home game because they lost at home. Atlas won away. If it's its own tournament, technically Atlas is más merecedor to have a home game, in
Definitely.
my opinion.
No, I completely agree with you, but I mean that's just the way things are shaped up. So I guess we'll see. We'll come back when that game goes down, and then we'll give our own reactions, and then obviously coming back into Liga action, we're gonna be all over that as well. Make sure you guys subscribe, follow, like, and check out all our platforms down below. Help us get to 5K, Tomas. Appreciate you hopping on. So a short, sweet episode for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.